Okay, we will be looking at our math review for week 11. In this video, I will do some problems off of Monday and Tuesday. Number 1 says, what was the bill without tax? Detective Sandra Sly went shopping for new disguises and paid $182.52 for a wig, clothes, and glasses and makeup. This included 8% tax. What was the bill without tax? So I'm gonna write an equation to solve this. I'm gonna let x equal cost without tax. I don't know how much it is. I'm gonna call it x. All right. Well, however much that was, x plus the tax amount. How much is the tax? 8%. 8% of that, I can write that as 0.08 times x. The original cost plus the 8% tax of that amount will equal 182.52. All right, see if this statement makes sense to you. I don't know how much the original price is, but I'm going to call it x. 8% of that amount will be the tax. Those two things added together will be the total. Well, the implied coefficient here is 1. Combining like terms leaves us 1.08x equals 182.52. Solving for x, we will simply divide by 1.08 on both sides. I'll leave that part for you. That's number 1. Number 2. Simplify these terms. Well, they're connected. We know that they're multiplied. Well, first we can simply multiply these coefficients. 4 times 10 is 40 times 1/4 is 4. It's like the 1/4 and the 4 cancel to leave 10. 10 is the product of all the coefficients. Now the variables. This is a little x, and that's a capital X. I think they mean them to be the same. X times x yields x squared. We simply add the exponents. 1 and 1, x2. And then we have y. The product of those three terms is 10x squared times y. All right, number 3 says the associative property. The associative property deals with grouping. And both addition and multiplication, we say, are associative. For example, A plus B added together, then added to C, will be the same as A plus B plus C. All right? This same phenomenon exists for multiplication. I'm going to do a specific example here. Let's say this was 4 plus 3, and then out here it was plus 5. That's going to be the same as 4, A being 4, B being 3, and C being 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. Here, 3 plus 5 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. So you see these two quantities are the same. It didn't matter which way we grouped. That is not the case with both subtraction and division, and you could try a couple of those on your own. So we're looking for one that shows that the grouping is not that important with both multiplication and addition. Well, this first one, A here, that's the distributive property. A deals with the distributive property. I hope you see they've multiplied the term outside by both inside. Distribute. Okay. B, we've taken 1 and multiplied it by these terms, and they've rewritten that as x squared y squared. This is sort of identity, but they haven't quite shown it so well. This is a combination of two things. This is the power rule for exponents. Power rule. we've taken these two terms squared, that left us with an x squared, y squared, and it's the identity. So it's definitely not B here. Okay, it's not A either. But C, all right, here we're saying we're going to multiply these two together and then multiply by A. Here it says we're going to multiply A and B squared and then multiply by C. This is the associative property. When we're dealing with multiplication, we can change the grouping, but the product will remain the same. Number 4, evaluate each expression. Well, a negative exponent is the same as saying the reciprocal of it. To say x to the negative fifth is the same as 1 over x to the positive 5. Using this idea, see if you can simplify the following two. Okay, skipping down to Tuesday now. Number 1 says 66 equals 2 plus x over 5. Well, solving for x, I want to get the x by itself. 66 equals 2 plus x divided by 5. If I want to get the x by itself, I first want to handle this 2. Subtracting 2 on both sides. The 2's subtract to leave x over 5. 66 minus 2 is 64. Typically, we have a coefficient that's multiplied. Here, it's x divided by 5. How do we undo division? That's right, we multiply. Multiplying by 5 on the right and the left. 5 divides 5, that's x. 64 times 5 is 320. You could take that 320 and substitute back in and see that this is indeed the solution. Number 3 says evaluate. We call this the fifth root of 243. It means what number multiplied by itself 5 times yields that? Well, you certainly might be able to figure that out in your head, or we can use our calculator to find this. Here's how we do it using your calculator. Get to the scratch pad. I hit Control and up arrow, and it enters in this exact symbol. We call the check mark a radical. The number underneath is the radicand. This number outside is our root. We want the fifth root, also called the index. Now I want a key to the right, 243. This is going to return what number multiplied by itself 5 times yields 243. It's 3. Let's verify that. 3 times itself 5 times should be 243. Another way to write that is 3 to the power of 5. Alright, so we see the fifth root of 243 is 3. Okay. I will leave the rest of these problems for you.